1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't do that.
All right,
Stop.
fine. What is Bones doing right now?
Bones, please.
Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Fallout and welcome to episode 142 of the Planet Destiny podcast. How are you? Tonight we have an interesting group of folks that you probably are wondering, well, who the fuck are these people? Well, hey, Fallout, we have Mega Magwitch with his pink hair, which he'll probably tell you about a little bit later on. That looks fucking dynamite, by the way.
Thank you.
We have Bonesy from Crucible Radio, always nice. Haven't seen him in a while. We have Moon. There we go, little wave.
Hello.
And Link, you look different tonight. What is it? Did you get a haircut or something? No, this is this is Punky. We had recently, Mega and I participated in a charity stream with the Dames of Destiny, and all proceeds and donations went towards the National Breast Cancer Foundation. It was a great stream. We ended up raising over $13,000, which is really fucking cool. And one of our donation goals that Mega and I had was that if you donated the most in a certain window of time, then we would bring you on to the PD podcast. So say hello to Punky, the most generous donator from the charity stream.
Welcome, Punky. Welcome to the show.
I paid to win.
Hey,
See, it works.
We appreciate it.
Somebody please clip this moment of Fallout's face so I can use it for the rest of my life since the camera's frozen again.
Oh god, did it freeze again?
Yes.
yeah,
It's another classic Fallout
Another
face.
classic Fallout frozen. Love it, dude.
It's so good. Oh my.
That's GIF material for days right there.
Turn it on.
Yeah.
There we go.
How about there we
He's
go?
back.
Yeah.
He's back
Okay.
now.
It's already
To the
been...
listeners
The
at home, we
meme in the
sincerely
making.
apologize,
Yeah.
but this has been a hilarious opening 5 minutes so far.
This is what happens when the people who know how to organize this stuff are sick or gone or whatever.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We just keep going down.
Yes.
I have regrets.
Smash the button until it works.
Yeah.
Okay. We're here. We're live. It's good enough. It's good enough. All right. Just deal with it.
Exactly. So, Punky, tell us a little bit about your gaming background. How long have you been a gamer in general? We'll go from broad to specific.
Oh, good lord. Since like the very early 90s, like back when ESA versus VSA really mattered, if any of you are old enough to know what the hell that means. Yeah, exactly.
No.
Back when you had enough colors you could count on your fingers and toes. But then PC gaming for a very, very, very long time, and got into console gaming kind of about the time I joined the United States Army. I'm currently a officer in the United States Army. Oh. And the basically when I got sent to Korea, they were like, "Hey, you're gonna be kind of by yourself. There's not a whole lot to do there." So I was like, "Okay." And so got really into Destiny prior to that, and got really into Destiny in Korea, and got to know some of these fine folks over there talking online, and now I'm here to play a lot of Destiny, play a lot. I've been first-person shooters in general, but basically been gaming for almost as long as I've been alive, and so very excited to be here.
Yeah. Cool, man. Cool. I like the image of, we have our armed forces overseas, and like the common people here are like, oh yeah, they're fighting the good fight. They're probably doing a lot of really important shit, and then Punky's over there like, I got to do the nightfall. Like,
yeah, exactly. Look, ISIS can wait. Prestige raid comes out tomorrow.
Oh my god.
That's what
Yeah.
matters. Challenge
Well, it's
mode
good to
raid
have you.
came out this week,
Exactly.
right? Yeah. Fuck,
Exactly.
did it?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't do it.
Did anybody do it?
You Punky. God damn it,
Nope.
Punky.
Anybody?
Had you on because you're supposed to be our expert.
I know how to. I mean, I took a good swing at it earlier today. We got our junk pushed in. It was super exciting.
Yeah.
Love it.
Then we tried it on Prestige.
Yeah.
I was running with Anno, and it was hard. It was.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, she had a rough time on LFG today.
Oh.
I was because she is so determined to complete the raid. I'm out. I'm just doing trials carries and whatever, and playing the
You might wanna
game,
pop your
and
camera.
someone in the chat's like, hey, how's Anna? Because I mentioned that she was trying to do the raid earlier. She was like, hey, how's Anna doing with that raid? I was like, oh, that's a good question. So I turn around and I'm like, hey, how you doing with that raid? And I just see like the anger and the like, don't finish this sentence fall. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna turn back the camera and just not ask. It's going bad.
It's your seething.
Now in my multiple attempts at doing Prestige, I've kind of noticed that the big thing is less so learning the mechanics, because the mechanical changes are not super complicated. It's more pure ad control.
Yeah.
Because the ads are brutal, especially in baths. The amount of ads you have to deal with are very difficult, especially with the Legionnaires that come over, because you know how they like to lob that grenade over the top of cover before you can even see them? That's a pretty big hit to your health right off the bat. And so if you don't have ad control down to a science, you're going to have a hard time in the Prestige raid.
This is exactly why I have not attempted the Prestige raid. These exact fears that you are confirming for me, because I'm terrible. Down to a science immediately eliminates me from contention in anything that requires extreme focus. And
you got to be able to just go zap, zap, and then move on. It's all you got to do.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
You shoot them in the face and then they fall over. It's a video game. Hey.
I sort of just decided I'll do it when I feel like I have that perfect loadout, where it's like I'm not just kind of constantly tweaking stuff or getting slightly better gear or getting from 304 to 305 light. Like once I'm at 305 with all the setups I need, I'm just like, this is the exact perk list. Then I'll go into stuff like that, because we tried and we spent an hour in there and we're like, you know what? Like, if we can't beat this section real smoothly, imagine Callus. Like, no, thank you.
And wait until the DLC drops and the light level goes up.
Then hopefully we can go in, be a little more overpowered.
You mean the way that
like
Mega has beaten every Prestige raid or Heroic raid, or whatever you want to call it, ever in Destiny? Just wait until that shit's the normal raid, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. But I tried the challenge mode on PC as well this weekend, and it's not that bad, but we just weren't leveled up. And this is, we're all at like 270, 280, so we're not quite even overpowered for the normal mode. But we were doing the challenge essentially in the pools is you have to stand in the middle. One guy has to stand in the middle and be in the water the whole time, and they can't jump or get out of the pool essentially. And we were doing just fine, and then we all met in the middle, and then we just lost track of one Scion, and it shot that little purple thing, and just all 5 of us at one time went, woo! It was like a big trampoline scenario, and we were like, yep, that's it. All right, let's just complete this as normal. But I'll go back in a month from now, and whatever.
Give it a good solid month.
Yeah.
And you'll go back in. Then you'll feel good about it. My girlfriend, the purist, wanted to complete it like legit. You know what I mean? She was rolling with an LFG team, and they seemed to be doing okay. And then there was some kind of like argument, maybe not an argument, but like they were just being honest with each other on the mic. And I think she bailed because they wanted to do some kind of cheese where like you eliminate all the ads from the room or something like that. Anyone heard about this? I think they mentioned that in one of their twabs about how they wanted to. That was like kind of an exploit that they were working towards eradicating. Yeah, that was the one they were...
That big callus cheese.
Yeah. I don't think... Apparently they didn't finish it because the LFG group that she was with were like, oh yeah, so we're going to just cheese all the ads out of the room, right? And she wanted to do it legit, which hasn't happened yet, but at least her honor is intact, right?
Yes. She's trying.
She's trying.
I'm with Anno on that. I'm not a fan of beating things with cheeses. Like, I don't know, what am I getting out of doing the Prestige raid other than like the satisfaction of beating it, So if I beat it with a cheese, what's the point? It's not like there's some gear that I'm chasing in it, particularly right now. If I knew there was something amazing locked behind the Prestige raid, then I would probably be like, yeah, I'm gonna cheese the hell out of it and get that thing. But without that item, I guess I really need that Legend of Acreus skin. But other than that,
to me, it kind of depends on the interaction and the encounter and how it feels. Like, to me, so it's kind of funny because some of the cheeses aren't like incredibly easy. they're a real hassle. And especially the old ones back in Vault was like, all right, we're gonna knock the Templar off. It's like, all right, so that means we all crouch in a corner and not die and throw grenades for like 20 minutes. Like that's not easy. That's not just flipping a button and getting the win. So it's like I'd rather just do the encounter because we're spending the same amount of time in here. But then there was stuff like Crota on the bridge. I thought getting across the bridge in other ways as opposed to as intended was really fun. And it was because there was actually some hilarious options where you get a sword and a Sunsinger uses the melee to like launch you into the sky and then you sword across, or like blink sword with an arc blade and stuff. Like that ended up being fun. And then you had this crazy challenge of like being on the far side and soloing. But now it's like with Callus, it's like it's a really good encounter with good designs. No fun to just turn off ads. That's just like
it's funny that
you're just kind of missing out.
I was just saying like I wouldn't do the cheese, but it's funny you bring up Crota, and like until they revamped it, I never did it without doing the cheese. But that's just because I joined like later. I didn't do the raid till everyone had already done it a bunch, and everyone was just like, oh, we'll just cheese this, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, guys, whatever you say. Like, I didn't have the option.
Their cheese, their cheese was your normal.
Exactly. I was like, oh, you mean you're not supposed to beat this by like climbing these rocks over here and jumping behind an invisible wall and despawning the ads? It's a really interesting mechanic.
Jumps that was damn near impossible to Titan too. It was so hard as a fucking Titan.
Yeah. That blink off the first rock was so cool when I first did it. Just sneaking through.
Yeah, the cheese on Callus right now feels more like the old unplug the cable from the back of the console.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was I was forced into doing that kind of back when I was in fire teams where I couldn't sort of like speak up. I wasn't as confident in my knowledge of the encounter. So some guy who was more of the shot caller goes like, okay, so you're gonna do here and then you're gonna do the Ethernet, and I was just like, what? What? And then we all sort of, like, 3 of us stood around going, like, oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, fine.
And we get the rewards. We're like, and they're like, all right, send me a friend request. I was like, no.
A lot of people don't know, but Bones was actually 14 when Crota came out, so that's just how he carries himself.
Oh, God, it feels like it.
It wasn't until much later that they were like, all right, we're obviously doing the cheese. And he was like, excuse me. No, we're not. I'm Bones from Crucible Radio.
Do you even know who I am?
Don't you know who I am?
Oh, good old-fashioned raid shenanigans.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm freezing. It's fine. It's just super cold.
Yeah, I'm so worried. Sorry, listeners. Fallout is constantly disappearing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I going away?
checking.
Yeah, you're gone again.
It's fine. It's anybody miss him?
I need the eye contact, buddy. I need to know that
it's just disconcerting to talk to a frozen picture of you.
Yeah. Not cool.
Or that cute little Xbox avatar.
Aw, look at that.
So adorable. Hold on.
He's dapper. Look at that jacket.
Is it back?
Yes,
Yes or no? Thank
You're
you.
there now. Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're cute. You're cutie. Don't worry.
Don't lie to me.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I would never.
Would never.
All right.
Would never.
Never.
Okay, so the big thing this week, we got to bring it up. And Punky, I know you're a lore guy. We've spent many a time arguing about the location of the tower and relativity to Portugal or whatever. But some lore stuff is happening in this new expansion, Curse of Osiris. I'm personally so glad that the first big thing is something that does pull from past lore. It's adding a lot. We don't really know what it involves, but it's really cool to go like, I know Osiris. That's interesting. We've been waiting to figure this out. What did you guys think of the little trailer and Ikora's speech? And what are you looking forward to in this new expansion? And if you fucking say like Endgame, I'm gonna break my microphone. That's not what I mean.
Finally get some Endgame. This dry sequel of a game.
I'm really hoping for random rolls.
I'm hoping to actually get Destiny 2 instead of Destiny 1.5 with no endgame.
I know,
that we've been
right?
playing. That's me.
My eye's gonna start twitching.
Moon is our designated eye roller. We're just gonna read off like basic
She's just
cringy comments from the community, and Moon's gonna be.
I'm just gonna be, Well, I for one am excited to see if it happens, an interaction between Ikora and Osiris, because there's so much history between those two characters. I just want to know. I want to know how they're gonna feel when they see each other, and when he returns per se. So that's what I'm really excited for.
It would be pretty cool if they do, if Ikora kind of gets out of the tower, because I think one of the best part of the campaign for me is that we're not just those 3 people stay in one room forever, and it was really cool to go out in the world and interact with them. So I hope that continues to be something they use, and that Ikora isn't just on her Bluetooth from the tower going like, yep, it's over there. Yeah, a little farther. But
Osiris texts Ikora. She replies back, "New phone, who dis?"
Yeah, exactly.
New phone, who dis? Yeah.
Come on, it's me. Like, ooh, I don't know. I don't recognize this number. I deleted all my contacts from the golden age.
New ghost.
God.
New ghost.
I thought the trailer was super cool, though. I love the outfit. I'm normally not all about that Destiny fashion. I know, crucify me. I know a lot of people are super into Destiny fashion. But, dude, Osiris's outfit, it's, like, awesome.
Yeah.
What is he? Like, some kind of, like, fighting bird chicken man? Like,
they're pigeon boys, all right? They're pigeon boys.
The birds of war from
Exactly.
Always Sunny. They're going to come in and fight for the troops.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, my God.
That's pretty cool, though. I love that anytime new content drops, there's kind of like a sequence of events that we instantly recognized in the community. So the first thing that happens, very first thing, is it gets tweeted out, and then the community members who are the fastest, they will retweet it with the Twitter eye emoji or like the lit fire emoji. That's all they'll do. They'll instantly retweet it with the eyeball emoji. And then maybe 10 minutes later, a couple of YouTubers will have a video up like, here's the new trailer. Let's break it down. What do we? I don't know how they're that quick.
I don't understand.
I don't know how they're that quick.
They're hitting export when the fucking trailer is uploaded. Like, they're already ready. It doesn't make any sense.
It's already there.
They've got an in.
Yeah.
No, they do.
Dude, for real. But yeah, and then after that, after they post the actual trailer on their channel, then the people come in who they're breaking it down frame by frame. Like, they're going super deep tinfoil hat dive into like, what are we seeing? I saw so many people commenting like, vault of glass, looks like it's in the vault of glass. Look at this, look at this.
No. That irritated me.
Doesn't even make any sense. It's on the wrong planet.
Okay.
Like, there's triangles everywhere. It's Vex. Like, what do you want?
Yeah, like if you look at it, you can go like, if someone told you like that's in the vault, the sort of architecture of it, the spacing and the stairs, you're like, okay, I can see it. But also like, everywhere looks like that if it's Vex.
Yeah, that's literally what they do, is they make everything look like Vex stuff. It's kind of their thing.
If it comes up in like a cutscene, maybe, but otherwise, I would really hope that they're not like dragging back that location. We've been to the vault so many times now.
Yeah, sorry.
We're trying to have a real conversation about Destiny here.
Sorry. So am I, guys. I'm also excited for this DLC. But you asked what we're most excited for. I'm most excited to figure out what the fuck raid content means. That's all I want to know. I want that to be settled.
Oh, bye, Bones.
Bye, Bones is
There
done.
he goes.
He's gone. Oh gosh, what are we talking about?
I mean,
Raider some bullshit.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff coming up. The new weapons that they showed off were pretty cool. They dropped what looked like Telesto and Jade Rabbit in the trailer, so that's pretty cool. So we're going to see some of the returning Destiny 1 exotics probably. That's going to be interesting. But the other thing is that it's going to be interesting to see how they handle returning to previous content narratively. Because it's going to be... Because they're going to have to try to mesh what they've established with Osiris, which is, to be honest, not a whole lot, and integrate it into the story in an interesting way. Like, I mean, I talked about this with Bones recently, that one of my personal pet theories is that Osiris is not 100% what they remember him as, because when a story screams at me, "This is happening," in huge flashing bright letters, usually that means that's not what is actually happening. That it's one of those like monkey paw caveats, technically true kind of things. Like, yes, Osiris is technically coming back, but what does that mean? And so, but I mean, it'd be fun just to see what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting to kind of return to. Also, it's going to be it's one of the first times the primary lore of the story is not going to be our enemies, but it's going to be the Guardians.
Yeah. The history of it is really cool, and to see like we're learning more about what went on with us rather than like here's some yep another enemy has made the trip out from deep space. I think that's really cool, and like to go over like what we know about Osiris. Trials didn't give us anything real concrete. It was just a cool name. And then the big thing is that he had his own sort of take on things, but people thought he was capable of being the speaker, right? Like they were sort of thinking like he should be the guy, he should be the leader, which is really interesting. But the trailer of him like sliding around, quickscoping Vex and using his super didn't really scream like, yes, the new political leader or something. So
you
like,
don't
I don't even know
remember
if they're
when
gonna
the
mess with
speaker
that.
was just fucking owning people with his Dawn Blade all the time?
The speaker has never...
Dude, it's like, it's that straight... You're talking about diplomacy. It's that straight episode 2 Attack of the Clones when Natalie Portman cocks the gun and she's like, aggressive negotiations. That's all it is, all right? That's all it is.
Yeah, so I sort of think it's we might just end up running around with him and him saying, help me stop this terrible thing that's about to happen, and we do. But
I hope it's more.
A lot
than
of potential. A lot of potential.
I hope he ends up being more than the guy that we turn our tokens into. How about that?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That would be nice, but
One can only hope.
if I were a betting
I
man,
want him to be
can
more than
only
a
hope.
quest giver and a token receiver. And if he's more than the slot machine we put our tokens into, that'd be super awesome.
We're also going to hear from his ghost, who gets a voice.
It's a lady voice.
A lady voice.
Yeah.
And that's cool because this will be the first other ghost that talks, right? That's
yeah,
kind of
that's
heavy.
right, yeah.
Like that's kind of big.
That's
So
kinda cool.
I'm actually really excited for the voice too, because it's Marina Baccarin or whatever her name is, who played Inara from Firefly. So we got
Firefly,
another
yeah.
Firefly cast member joining.
they're just collecting the
all
cast
they're
of
doing, man.
Firefly.
Yeah, Destiny 2 is just like
Yeah.
Firefly.
Love it.
Two,
I hope
basically.
there's some cute like ghost interaction where they float around each other and kind of like do a little dance and stuff like that.
Well, it's also interesting because we're speaking to her independent of Osiris, which usually that's not a good sign when a ghost shows up without its guardian. It's usually not super positive.
Yeah, not good. Not the best.
I gotta be honest, I don't know anything about Osiris. I'm really tuned out
I'm so
to the
I'm so
lore.
in the dark too. I would love.
Yeah, I don't know anything about who
Explanations
Osiris
and
is, like what his deal is about, where he comes from.
Well, he's a bird. We saw the trailer.
That's true. He is a
It
bird.
is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Anybody?
if you guys know anything more, feel free to fill in. I think the basics of it is that he was a very powerful guardian. Obviously, he trained some guardians. We know he was Ikora's mentor. He did eventually start having opposing viewpoints to the Vanguard. He was like, I'm actually going to do it this way. And he wasn't entirely wrong and had like followers and stuff. So there was a percentage of, you know, the Guardians or the people or whatever who sort of thought like he should be the leader. They were sort of thinking like, I like this guy more than the speaker. And the speaker was sort of the safe call, and others labeled Osiris as kind of like a rogue. How he gets that notorious description in the trailer. And eventually they kind of just were like, you know, this is too much. And I don't know how much they like banished him, or he also just was like, yeah, I'm gone. So he basically like left. He said, you know what, this isn't like worth it. I have good ideas, or like I have the right plan. I'm going to go off on my own. And so then you get to the Brother Vance as his sort of like communication still with the Reef and things like that. But yeah, I mean, he's basically like he could have been the speaker. People wanted him to be, and he's just got a different take on things.
According to what I'm reading right now, he was exiled, apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was he served as the speaker's apprentice. He was a really powerful dude. His desire for truth about the purposes of Guardians and the nature of the darkness drove him to madness. Let's see. His theories were not only considered borderline blasphemous. But he was also diverting Guardians and resources away from protecting the city and refugees and towards chasing legends and rumors like the Vault of Glass. It's implied that he was the one who inspired Kabar, am I pronouncing that right? The Legionless Kabir into going into the vault in the first place. His obsession with the darkness and misuse of resources eventually drove the Speaker to exile him. The Speaker believed he had become as obsessed with the Vex as Toland had with the Hive.
Look.
In typical Warlock fashion.
Yeah. Look, crazy, super genius, charismatic guy gets exiled. That always ends well, right? That's
right? Damn.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's a wild card, and now he's coming back, and we don't know what they'll bring out of that, you know? I think there's enough to say in Destiny 2 where it's like if they need to retcon a little bit, they will, because same with like the darkness. If the darkness was a cool concept but brought along a lot of like too much detail, then they'll get rid of it. So I think that what that on the good side of that is that they will do the right thing and make a cool, fun story that you can actually latch onto and not be like so held up by intense moments of lore, which is definitely a good thing.
it looks like they're very much playing him as a wild card.
Yeah.
Just from the kind of the way that they reference him in the few minutes he gets brought up on Nessus. He's kind of like a bit of an outside. I mean, what's he gonna do? What is he gonna do? Kind of force by the way they're kind of referencing him, which will be really interesting to have that kind of like third pole where you have to worry about this other faction for a change. Will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go too over the top nerdy, but then again, we are on a fucking video game podcast right now, so I don't know who I'm trying to fool.
Yeah, careful, Fallout. The next words you say might put you into over the top.
I might be an official nerd now, you guys.
Let's be careful.
I'm just reading more about Osiris, and
tell me about Saint 14.
All right, one thing at a time. God. So apparently, one of the things that he tries to do, and so do the people who follow him, is they attempt to see how far the light can be bent before it can be broken. I don't know why. That sounds really cool to me. It like reminds me of, I know Bones is with me on the Star Wars love. You know what I mean? Like, what was the dude? Mace Windu, right? Isn't his whole spiel supposed to be like he fucks around with the light? He tries to like go between the light and the dark. Isn't he like on the edge, something like that?
Yeah, he's one of the few Jedi capable of pulling from his anger and his negative feelings to become more powerful without tipping over into using the dark side.
Interesting shit.
Well, I mean, you brought up a good point about Saint 14 Moon, because Saint 14 originally left the city to go chase down Osiris and see what his deal was. So maybe we'll be seeing a bit of Saint 14 as well.
That would be really awesome.
That'd be nuts.
And give me his helmet back while you're at it.
yeah, that'd be a cool way to bring back some old exotics.
I'm down. I'm into it. As a man who has so little idea of what's going on in the lore, I'd be like, hey, I recognize that name. That's cool. But I would enjoy it thoroughly.
That's the thing I know.
Yeah.
Like, make it recognizable and tangible so someone who's just like, oh, I haven't read that 50-page Book of Sorrows thing via the Bungie app can still, like, enjoy the references and things like that. And it's also got to appeal to new players who weren't around for the last 3 years, so they can't go too insane with their Osiris
They're just
history.
gonna dig real deep into the
As
lore.
you know, Guardian.
Yeah.
According to this, Saint 14 went on a mission to Mercury to go look for Osiris when Osiris disappeared, and he hasn't been seen or heard from since.
Well, that seems like a perfect time for him to come
Super,
back, doesn't it?
not ominous at all.
No.
It all seems perfectly kosher.
That's kind of fucking interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he was an exo, obviously, given the number, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think there's going to be any chance the Vex have just completely messed with him? Because we get that little bit of foreshadowing on Nessus.
That would be super sad, but I could see it.
Like, where, God, I think the Watermelon Exo guy, Jake, he pointed out that if you're on Nessus, there's a thing you can scan, and you can only, like, get a certain line from it if you're an Exo, but it's a Vex structure. So I don't know if that was...
Yeah, there's a Vex thing there that's designed to interface with Exos. Yeah. Which, again, bodes super well. It'd be really sad if we find Osiris and he's got, like, bits of Saint 14 trussed up on his ceiling with his little head going. That'd be
that'd be cool. Yeah. And so this comes with, well, a new place to explore. That's kind of crazy. That's big, because the last time that happened without a I guess Taken King was
like our first time getting
pretty
a
major
new
release,
right?
Yeah. It's like they're putting out a space on something that's like conceptually smaller than both Taken King and then also smaller than Rise of Iron, but I think this is actually probably going to do a lot in compared to Rise of Iron 2. So it's really cool that we get to get a whole bunch of stuff with this, but a new space is amazing.
Get to bomb around on Mercury.
I can't even process that, but that's going to be really cool. Mercury is one of my favorite places.
Yeah. We get to see how much the Almighty fucked it up.
I'm so excited to go back to planets like that, because it was like, it just kind of irritated me in Destiny 2. I was like, well, why don't we? We were going to these planets every single day a week ago. Why the hell are we just completely over them right now? So I want to be like, I don't know. I want to be on those planets again. As much as I'm in a way tired of them, I miss.
It's played out, Mega. It just ain't cool no more.
Yeah,
I guess we're all just done with it. I'm not done.
That was so one game ago.
I'm lame, but I like my places. Also, that's more filming locations, and that's always fun. More fun places, more pretty places to look at in Destiny is always a good thing in my book.
They're bringing back the lighthouse, but in a different way, judging by the trailer. Because the lighthouse is supposed to come back as a social.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Nice.
These multiple social spaces. I know that we had 3 at the end of Destiny, but like, what the heck is at the farm? I want them to start putting things there.
There's chickens.
Play soccer, Bones. Come on.
Can we play hockey
play
there
soccer in the
update coming up?
And the hangar is much bigger too. The hangar soccer field is enormous.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I hope there's, I don't know. What do we do at those places? It'll be cool.
Come on, Bungie. We got too many social spaces. I want something new. I want an anti-social space. I want somewhere I can go be alone with my music and write poetry. and put on
that's
dead
the dead orbit
shaders.
area?
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, that exists.
Yeah, that's true. It does talk about it in that one thing that you can scan the dead orbit, like forums where they're talking about like emo stuff in the forums. That's one of my favorite little bits in the tower. It's so funny.
Oh, hey, don't we have another faction war coming up that we can talk about?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The old
this one
Dead
looks
Orbit.
The Bungie tries desperately to get people to not pick Dead Orbit faction rally.
Yeah. What was it? It's like for New Monarchy, you get a sword. And for Future War Cult, what is it? Like a fusion rifle?
Fusion rifle, yeah. And then you
for
get
Dead Orbit, you get this
launcher
official
electric
toothbrush.
Yeah. You get those. It's not even
a Dead Orbit garden hose.
And it's one of those grenade launchers that like I hate, where it's like the one shot in the chamber ones that like who wants that?
Yeah.
You laugh. It's gonna be like they designed that one. I was just saying they designed that grenade launcher, that one grenade launcher, because they know no one wants it. It's gonna be the most broken gun in the game. Why?
There's gotta be something. It's gonna
be one hit kill across the map.
You're right. I'm gonna pledge Dead Orbit. You're right. It might be the most broken gun in the game.
No one will ever pick this game.
As much as it would pain me, it would actually be really hilarious if they won again. I just want to see like how far the joke can go, that like no power in the universe is stronger than like edgy 12-year-old guardians in large groups.
It's just an undefeatable force for 3 years of Destiny 2. Dead Orbit wins every faction rally. They're like in 2 months. God. They're like, all right, so the faction rally's coming back on Tuesday. Dead Orbit has no rewards. There's nothing to get. Tokens won't drop. Shaders won't appear. No guns are for sale.
Rock Jalal flips you off when you
calls you a nerd, and then they still win after.
if you pledge, it takes all your glimmer just to pledge.
Yeah. It costs 90 glimmer to pledge.
They literally say, if Dead Orbit wins, we're not ever bringing back random rolls. If anyone else wins,
we're canceling private matches if Dead Orbit wins.
How far?
if Dead Orbit wins, the full-size sequel gets pushed back 4 years. Still happens.
I'm tempted away from Dead Orbit personally toward my least favorite Future War Cult, just because I love a good fusion rifle in Destiny 2,
also,
and I can't.
That one's good.
You love ABA basketball team colors too.
Yeah, the colors are not the best on the shaders, but the fusion rifle looks great. The SMG is awesome. It's the Omalon Energy SMG that has the perk like Phosphorus where you can slow it down, and it also has I forget what the perk on it is now, but it's just basically like a better Phosphorus in terms of PvP, and I really like those guns a lot. And on PC, SMGs are fantastic. I just like having like the Future War Cult like the shaders don't matter to me because the Future War Cult designs are so cool and they accept shaders really well. So it's kind of cool. Like you still have Future War Cult gear, just some Trials shaders or something like that. But I think it's the one to go with. And who needs that sword? We all got swords.
And also, New Monarchy's all the way on the other side of the tower.
Yeah. Yeah, no one wants to
yeah, fuck that.
Are they gonna make me do that whole tour again to pledge? That was the worst.
I hope not.
You know, probably my number one complaint with Destiny 2, is that I had to walk all the way across the tower.
That was very anti-fun, and I don't say that a lot, but that was anti-fun.
Anti-fun.
I just like that they toned down the whole, and by the way, we're in favor of total complete monarchy and absolute power aspect for New Monarchy.
So we're about
they barely
helping
mention
people.
it.
Yeah, well, if you're trying to get people to join your cause, I mean, you don't want to mention that shit that makes you seem crazy.
Like, pay attention to all the free stuff we give out. Support us. Ignore the dictatorship that we're supporting. It's all good.
Yeah.
I like my crazy wide out in the open, which is why I pledged Future War Cult.
That's true.
Hey, we have a magic orb in the back. If you touch it, you see the future and go crazy. It's like, what the fuck
Hey,
did you
step
just say?
inside this little circle. Nothing bad will happen. I promise.
When Fallout said magic orb, I just imagine Future War Cult is run by a magic 8-ball, and they just fucking go into the back, and they're like, should we attack the Vex? Outlook not good, and they just set it down. All right, then.
They're trying to find like a scientific explanation.
Don't
they think
count
that
on
there's
it.
like some kind of time rift, and it turns out that like Osiris just came in and like rubbed down a magic 8-ball with like LSD, and every time we touch it, we just have like weird trippy visions.
It's the drugs they have you take so you can survive the experience beforehand.
Oh, good times.
It's not the total perspective vortex.
I am sad that I didn't pledge New Monarchy the last time because of that crazy slug shotgun that they got.
I regret a little
get
bit
that?
not pledging them too. I did not get it.
I don't like those shotguns. I'm just gonna be honest.
I don't like them either. I like the spread shotguns more, but I sort of want to get a little better with them. You know what I mean? Just because the kill potential is so ridiculous if you get the headshot from really far out. And the good one about the New Monarchy shotgun is I think it has full auto. So
It does,
normally with the slug, you shoot once and you're like, crap, I missed. Time to get owned. But at least with the full auto, you have kind of like a backup shot right there in the chamber if you miss the first headshot.
Yeah,
So you shoot 4 times and go, oh damn, I missed.
They're definitely not like the go-to one if I'm trying to be the best I can be, but they're a lot of fun, like just for occasionally throwing on and getting like some fun kills with them where you feel really satisfied. Or I could just put on Legend of Acreus and just fucking kill like 4 people just aiming in their general direction, I guess.
Yeah, I just wave in the general direction of my enemies with the Legend of Acreus and they just dissolve.
That gun is so ridiculously...
I mean, the slug might be good on PC, though, because you have a lot more precise aiming, right?
Click, use gun on man.
The thing about that Fallout is, like, we're getting into the technicalities of PC now, though, but, like, up close, mouse and keyboard is tough. I feel like that changes the game a lot. Like, on a controller, the melee, the shotgun game was very strong, and then now I hear from people that... like get into that melee shotgun range and things get real wonky because you're just so much faster and there's like the aim assist is gone. So I don't know, it's kind of up in the air. It could be though. I think there's always just going to be guns where it's like that's it, niche use, and there's going to be one guy that does it. And those slug shotguns, there's Popo, and then someone else will get weird with some other gun, and that's just the way the world works.
Yeah, I'm like Cammy. When Cammy saw that it looked like the Telesto was in that trailer, it was probably the best day of his life. I'm just gonna. It's like him alone.
I'm excited.
I love the Telesto, but it's not going to up anyone's KD tremendously.
Yeah.
You say that now. Wait till it comes back and it's like the friggin' BFG of Destiny.
That's true.
I'm interested to see how these things work.
Yeah, I'm curious how
or if the perk changes a little bit. But like Jade Rabbit coming back, Jade Rabbit sounds great for D2. I'll use that one a bunch. That sounds fantastic. So
I actually think that would be a really good. I don't mean to backtrack, but like a really good intro to like a montage. Like you start off with that clip of Bones being like, well, I don't really think that the Telesto would be good for like upping your KD, and then all of a sudden like intense rock music starts playing, and it's like it's the Telesto montage on Cammy's YouTube.
I've been wrong before, so this is basically my invitation for someone to do something with it. We'll see.
Love it.
I stopped listening and I've been wrong before because that's ludicrous. Bones has never been wrong.
He's
ever.
never wrong.
Never wrong.
Get out of here with that. Should we do questions now? Yeah.
Questions.
I was gonna say a time I was wrong, but we can continue. Go on.
Oh wait, before we go. Okay.
Oh no, yes.
Okay, before we go to questions,
I
just had a random memory. Bones, didn't we have some sort of bet relating to Destiny 2? And I don't remember what the fuck it was, but I feel like I probably lost and I need to delete something. But I don't even remember what it was anymore.
Why would you bring it up if you think that you lost the bet?
Why would I? I'm an honorable man. I just want to remember what it was. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I remember what it was.
Bet.
I cannot remember what the bet was because I only thought of it because the other day Fallout was tweeting about what raid content could mean and something about like betting that it wouldn't be a new raid or it wouldn't be reused stuff, and just the word bet triggered in my brain. I was like, shit, I had a bet with Bones, didn't I? And I don't remember what it was. And we're gonna have to like go back through old podcasts and figure this out because we definitely talked about it on the show. Damn it. All right. Was it?
I think the bet was if the Destiny 2 DLC came out in December that Mega would shave all hair off his body and give Bones $1,000. Isn't that it?
Okay, so I'm paying Bones his normal monthly fee.
All the hair of his body and just mail it to Bones.
Yeah.
We'll settle for either.
Yeah, we'll settle for either one.
No, the last time someone made a bet about body hair shaving, it went horribly.
It went
directly on Fallout's face.
Yeah.
Oh, those good times. That's actually what that picture is in the top left corner right now. That's me wearing post.
That's what it is. I like Bipolar Bloodlust has a question. How do you like the changes to survival? I'll defer to... I know Fallout's played a lot of it, so I'll defer to you.
I really enjoyed it. I thought they did a great job. I know a couple people I was talking to were like really hesitant about the changes because they thought it might be too short and the matches would be over too quickly. But I really like it. I know my perspective is a little jaded as a Trials Sherpa because I'm always trying to get cards done as quickly as possible. Like, all right, want to help you get flawless for the first time? Okay, good. You're done. Great. All right, next person. Come on, get in line. So having the games go quicker just to me is like more enjoyable. I had a really good time playing Trials all this weekend. We had a lot of fun games. So just speaking from me personally, I think they were great changes.
Does it change the strategy at all not having a full team, 2 full team reses? Because that's what you basically get with 8.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be way more careful with your lives. You know what I mean? You have to really coordinate. But the good news is that once you have the momentum, the snowball effect kind of gets more intense more quickly. Like if you get the other team on the ropes, you're like, okay, don't drop this momentum right now because they have so few lives to work with. If you just start rotating on people, you get their spawn points separated. If you can get them to spawn apart from each other and just keep rotating, pushing into them over and over, you're really going to clean up quickly. So it's kind of like you got to be careful with the lives at the beginning, but if you get that momentum, you lock onto it, you just keep pushing and you can just pretty much dominate the other team.
Yeah. The aggression comes into play because with the shorter time too. I mean, the lives I felt like had less to do with the way the speed of the game changed, but the timing. Shorter rounds meant like, crap, they have one extra life. We have to go kill them. We can't we're all alive now, and we could go to time, but that capture point is a mess. Like, you have to actively go in and push, which is Fallout. Why Fallout saying the first push is so huge is because you need to be in the position where you can go attack, and to be down a kill or down a life and then realize we have to kill them in the next 30 seconds or else this round does not go our way, puts a lot of pressure on it, and it definitely picks up the pace, and it felt better. I just did a trials run earlier today, and it felt so much better than the length of the games. Even though I thought the system worked well, the length of the game was so noticeable. So it's much better now.
How does it affect when you're on the flip side, though? That was the concern that the people that I was talking to about it with the changes to survival, is how is it trying to come back from losing that first push and you're down a life or 2 or 3 or 4.
I mean, you can get it done. It's kind of difficult, but you have to do that classic D2 PvP strategy. All right, everybody take a breath, stop what you're doing. If you're alone, don't do that. Come back, group up, big group up. Let's drop those rips. Let's get some team shots. You got to just concentrate in a group, get your angles, get your team shots, and then you really only need 1 kill, I think, to push back. Because if you bunch up, you're fighting together as a team, you get that 1 kill. Now you automatically outnumber them. You know what I mean? So even though you're down in the life count, you still have the ability now to take the momentum back into your side of the court. So, there were a couple matches this weekend where we were down maybe 1 to 5 or something like that in the life count, and we came back. So it is doable.
There we go.
and that's all there is to say about that.
That's all there is to say about it.
That's it. Yeah, that spawn time can get you because you realize it's slower, and then your teammate's pushing you like, "Hey, wait, guys, wait!" like if you can just take that breath and back up and all right, I'm back. Now let's go.
That's really the kind of the most underrated thing you got to pay attention to in survival for sure is that spawn timer, because if somebody gets out of position, somebody gets crazy and charges in when they're not supposed to, and they get dropped, you're immediately on the back foot for 10 seconds. And that's a lifetime, especially against a coordinated team in something like Trials.
Yeah.
But overall, very positive changes. It was very fun.
Good stuff.
I've got another question from a gentleman. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. The Block Lank? I'm not exactly sure how to say that name. He says,
isn't he on a podcast or something?
I wouldn't know anything about that. So we've seen what looks like Jade Rabbit and Telesto returning in the future. What other D1 exotics would you want back? What changes would you make to them?
No Land Beyond.
Yeah,
okay.
I would be.
All right, so
I would be down
Moon
for
wants
NLP
everybody to hate her. All right, that's cool, I guess.
I want NLP to come back.
Look, I'm not disagreeing with you. I love the No Land personally as one of my favorite guns in Destiny 1. I just don't know if it works at all in Destiny 2 in
I have no idea.
any conceivable way. Either it one-shots and it's broken, or it doesn't one-shot on a headshot, and why the fuck would I use it? That's how I feel about it.
And I want to be clear, I say that from a completely sentimental place. I don't think it would contribute anything to the actual gameplay.
No. Yes. Yeah. I don't think it's a smart choice to add in, but it is it's one of my favorite guns aesthetically and just one of my favorite guns to use, so I do miss it. I can absolutely see where you're coming from by suggesting it.
I will say seriously, I would like to see Bad Juju back because I like pulse rifles.
Love Bad Juju.
Mm-hmm.
We need more pulse rifle exotics just in general. We don't have one.
Yeah, we've got.
Here's the thing: is
we got Graviton Lance as well. That's all right. That's another pulse rifle.
Is any exotic power weapon from D1? There's no shotgun snipers or.
Aside from UR, I think there's the only exotic shotgun.
Invective?
No,
Invective, yeah. But we already have autos.
In D2, they're not pulling forward what would be power weapons. No. We've seen old primaries that are now either kinetic or energy, but I wonder if there's some sort of concern, especially with the way a lot of the guns work, where it's this would just become the best power weapon.
Well, that's why I was interested to see
so.
that Telesto looked like it was coming back, because it is one that would have been previously a special. Now it's a power, I would assume. So that's interesting.
And the only one that would translate directly, I feel like, would be Sleeper Sim, because that was a heavy, and it would also probably be
you know what? That might be my answer, because that would be
would work really well.
That would be a really. I would love to have that gun be back in, because I mean, Voops are already really strong, and that's basically just like a sniper linear fusion. Like
that would be neat.
It's just like a linear fusion that has ricochet on it, which feels like a decent exotic idea to me in D2. Like, not incredibly broken or anything like that. So I think that's a decent answer.
There's a lot I would like to see. I'd love to see Monte Carlo. I'd love to see Boolean Gemini. I think it might work better in a game like this. I'd love to see First Curse. I think that would be cool.
I was thinking First Curse too. Yeah, that one.
First Curse would be good, especially with the ranges way everything works out with that now.
Yeah, I think Last Word would be great because it would probably function a little differently, and just assuming higher armor and stuff like that. I would love it if it's like or you can get a kill if you empty all 8 bullets on him or something like that. It would just be a fun gun that would really switch up the play style and really allow people and cause people to react differently and not have everything be at range. So I think if you can have guns that create other distances, it would be great. Like sidearms and SMGs I think are so fun in this game because people are not built for playing up close. A lot of people aren't, but
does anybody want to see any exotic armor?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I would very happily.
Ophidian Aspect, please.
I would happily.
Already have my
Skull of Dire Homkra. That's what it does now.
I would gladly take my my bones back, my bones of Yao back. I miss being able to jump as many times as I want as a hunter all the time. I know that you can get the what are they? The Stompies. Those are like
the Stompies.
Yeah, those are like better jump, but it's not the same.
You can get some air with those though.
Oh yeah,
like really up there. It's kind of crazy.
I want the Ram back.
Yeah,
just for aesthetic purposes.
That's my favorite. I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah. I already have Armamentarium back. My life is perfect.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, I miss the no backup plans on the Titan. I know
no backup plans.
It's the fun police build, but it's the.
I'd take some nothing manacles.
Armor are the ones I want more of, really, now that I think about it. I love all the armor.
Probably.
Well, I mean, if you want NLB back, you just deck Devrim over the head and take it from him.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah. Give me that gun.
I said that before the game came out. When I saw the trailer, I was like, that guy has my gun.
Yeah.
Get it from him.
All the YouTube thumbnails. No Land Beyond confirmed? Question mark?
Oh my god, there was so... Every day before D2 came out, there was someone in my chat who was like, No Land's going to be in D2, right? I'm like, it's not going to be in D2. You're not going to have that as a gun you can use. I'm like, he's got it. He's right there. It's going to be in the game. And I'm like,
OMG.
Okay, kid.
Twitter emoji eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I would like brought into D2? I would like a new exotic armor that would give you an extra grenade. Even if you had 3, even if you had 2, it would give you 3, so I could watch the community collectively shit their pants.
When 3
Titan with 3 pulse grenades.
As a Titan main, I would 100% support that.
I was actually.
That's what I want.
Somebody in chat said my actual answer that I was going to answer to this question, which is Boltcaster. I think of all the exotic swords, it's the one that doesn't really have an analogy right now. There's not a really great replacement for Boltcaster for a sword that I can also shoot at you from a distance. It might be, I don't know, OP maybe, but it's not that crazy. I don't think with power weapons are by nature overpowered, I guess, so I don't really worry about them being
especially exotic ones.
Yeah.
That's why people are like, oh my god, we need to nerf the Legend of Acreus. I'm like, no, we don't.
Wait, hold on. Hey,
nope.
Whoa.
Stop.
Why? It's like the slowest maneuvering, slowest reloading thing in existence.
That exotic sword, which one were you saying, Megan?
The Boltcaster.
Yeah, play Dawnblade.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
That's
a good point.
Ew.
Yeah,
it doesn't have the same arc. It doesn't shoot the same. I don't like
I was
it.
like, I guess nothing looks like... Wait, no.
But wait a second. There's a whole super that's that sword.
Bones, the Dawnblade.
God damn it.
Yeah,
I've been had, folks.
There's super tankers that have faster turning radiuses than you with the Legend of Acreus.
Yeah. Oh, man.
God, I love that gun.
I want Light Beyond Nemesis back just because it's my look like that. I need the feathers. I don't care
just
what
for
it
the
does.
swag.
Don't even care. Yeah. This helmet does nothing. Yeah, but it looks cool.
It has no exotic perk on it. But it does take up your exotic slot to look good. I'll do it.
Yeah, for that I would like the Void Fang vestments back because I never took those off.
Those are good. My Gear 1 jam.
I'll take actually I'll take Graviton what Graviton Forfeit. I want that, but what it does is it gives you like an additional roll. That's what I want it to do now.
That actually wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah,
that'd be a good idea.
It'd be cool to have that one as like a neutral exotic too that isn't locked into a subclass now.
Yeah. No, because I mean, I shoot hunters out of that dodge all the time, so I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah, our dodge is not quite the same dodge it was in Destiny 1, and we don't get it as often. So I'd like to be able to do it twice. I don't know.
I don't know. That's kind of tough because like you can get a lot of rolls if you
That's true.
Have
if you have the two mods on, you can definitely get them in there. You can get 3 on the Void, right? On the Night
I was gonna say like you can get a pretty fast cooldown with some exotic perks and skill trees, but I'm trying to think of what else it could do because that's such a cool exotic. That was my favorite for a while.
That was my favorite. My favorite broken exotic in Destiny history was that one because that was the quiver glitch helmet that you could use. That was like I remember. I never used it in PvP, but I remember just going into like the strike playlist and just fucking beating an entire strike, just shooting tethers the entire time with my friends. Like that was stupid fun. Stupid.
I watched the guy spell his name out on the wall at the end of Shield Brothers with it during that glitch.
It was Fallout. He brought out youtube.com/Fallout plays.
Hashtag free plug.
Yes. Oh man. All right. Cool.
All right, so what do we do? Answer 2 questions? That's totally enough, right?
You ask what exotics you want to do too, and act like that's not going to be 15 minutes of conversation.
There's bound to generate some talk. All right.
Yeah.
So I think we done. We did it. Good job.
We done. We good.
GG's.
Good job.
I did it.
Kudos all around.
Fallout, you have horns and a beard now.
I do, yeah. You got to add more shit, buddy.
I didn't even add the horn. Someone else sent me the picture, and I downloaded
it. Oh my god!
Who the hell sent you the picture?
Don't worry about it. All right.
Can we just put that one up from the beginning of the show in that place? Because that was a good one.
That's your new profile picture right there, Fallout, I think. I think that's perfect. Just leave it like that.
I don't have that one hand. Well, maybe it's someone DM it. You know, lead us out, Fallout. This is the end of the show. This is your job. Take us away, bearded devil horn man.
Yeah, fuck you. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to episode 142 of the PD podcast. Thanks for being here with us. I'm Fallout. Actually, no, we're doing that too early. Too early. I don't have my script in front of me. Where did my audio go?
Christ.
Can you hear me? Okay, we're still here. Sorry, what's happening?
Professional podcast.
Okay, let's start over. Thanks for joining us, and don't go anywhere because right now is when you can tell us in the Twitch chat who you want us to raid, and that's something that you can join us for if you tune into the podcast live, which is every Sunday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Before I call out all of us and where you can find us, I'd like to give an extra special thank you to Punky for joining us tonight. Thanks for being here. Thanks for donating to the National Breast Cancer Foundation charity stream. That was really awesome of you.
Seriously, thank you very much.
Very cool.
It was good money for a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
What a damn nice guy.
Goddamn legend.
Punky, are you on Twitter or something? We'll give this guy a plug. Come on.
Yeah, it's Twitter.
You got the social media?
I've been on the social medias once or twice. Those newfangled things. Find me on Twitter at Punky0. That's a number 0, and you can find me on Twitch at Punky the Game.
Ooh, Punky the Game.
2020.
Punky0 was the
Throw a couple 420s in there. All right, I'm Fallout. You can find me at youtube.com/FalloutPlays and twitch.tv/FalloutPlays. You can find Bones at Crucible Radio podcast for all things Destiny PvP. You can find Mega at youtube.com/HuskyRaid /twitch.tv/MegaMagwitch, and you can find Moon at twitch.tv/Moonbald.
Boom. Crushed it.